I'm going to show you the DIY way to store your Bitcoins in the ultimate cold storage hardware wallet, stainless steel. It doesn't corrode in water, has a melting point over 1300 degrees Celsius when the internet tells me most house fires only get up to 800 degrees, and is generally pretty tough. There's actually a product out there called Crypto Steel that I'm stealing this idea from. It's pretty cool and even open source, but a little expensive, $79 for one that holds 96 letters or $100 for letters and numbers. In this video, I'm going to show you how to stamp private keys into stainless steel dog tags, which are $8.50 for $25 from Amazon, and a $20 metal stamping kit. The links to these are in the description below. There are a few other tools that will help, like a hammer, a metal block to stamp on, safety stuff, but you probably already have these lying around or something that will work. As a little thank you to my subscribers, I'm going to put $30 on the private key I'll be stamping here. So if you're one of the first people to watch this, you should probably skip right to the end and grab those coins. I'm going to provide a little background on private keys before getting into the stamping, so feel free to skip ahead if you already know what you want to stamp. Private keys are the passwords to Bitcoin addresses. Not only that, Bitcoin addresses are generated from private keys, so the private key is really all you need to write down. A private key is just a random 256-bit number. You can actually just flip a coin 256 times to generate this, or even roll dice. I'm going to use a program to generate mine though. For cold storage, it's recommended that you generate a private key on a computer that never touches the internet. I use this site called bitaddress.org that has a self-contained JavaScript program. I saved the web page and moved it to an offline computer that will never touch the internet. It uses mouse movements to get randomness, and once it has enough, out pops a private key and Bitcoin address. If you click on this Wallet Details button, you can see these numbers in a bunch of different formats. Obviously, we don't want to use the 0 and 1 version, as that would take 256 characters and a lot of dog tags. If we use more characters like 0 through 9, we can pack more bits into each character, around 3, but that's still 78 characters. By also using some letters like A through F in addition to 0 through 9, which is a format called hexadecimal or base 16, we can store 4 bits per character, getting us down to 64 characters, which actually does fit on the dog tag. If you use even more characters, like base 64, which uses the full alphabet and upper and lowercase letters, you can get away with even shorter lengths, down to 44 characters, and this is the bottom one here. But some of these characters are hard to tell apart, like 1, lowercase l, and I, so I recommend one of these longer formats, either base 16 hexadecimal or this base 58 one. The base 58 one avoids characters like 0 or capital I or lowercase l to avoid confusion. And even better, it includes some error checking built in, so if you mess up one character, a program will tell you that. One more detail here, you've got compressed and uncompressed formats. The compressed one is just a newer format that basically saves space in the blockchain, so we're going to use that one. The 52-character private key WIF, which stands for Wallet Import Format, compressed. Finally, newer wallets oftentimes are built with a single seed from which any number of addresses and private keys can be generated. To back these up, they usually ask you to write down 12 to 24 words when you're first setting them up. The words are basically just a different way to write down these groups of zeros and ones, just as with the characters. By using a list of 2048 words, we can represent all the different combinations of 11 zeros and ones. Google Bitcoin Improvement Proposal, or BIP39, if you want to see this list. A useful thing about this list is that the first 4 characters of each of these words are unique, so you don't need to write down more than those first 4 characters, which means you can write down just 12 times 4, or 48 characters on a dog tag to store your master backup seed. By the way, since Crypto Steel can hold 96 characters, that means you can back up 2 12-word seeds on one of those. Alright, let's get stamping. Now, rather than buy an upper and lowercase stamp kit, I'm just going to use uppercase ones and put a little dot below characters that are lowercase with this center bunch. You could also just use a small nail too. My stamp kit has uppercase letters and numbers that are about 4 millimeters tall, which is a good size for being both readable and fitting on my tag. I tried a 3 millimeter kit, but it was pretty hard to read on the dog tags. So 52 characters divided by 4 rows is 13 characters per row, and I've got about 40 millimeters across, so I'll put each letter about 3 millimeters apart. I mark this on tape and also mark groups of 4 on my printout to help keep track of where I am. The tape also helps me line up the bottom of each character. I slide the stamp down, feeling for when the letter hits the edge of the tape. Then give it a good whack. I'm using a 1.5 pound dead blow hammer. A lighter hammer would work, but you'd have to swing harder and be more at risk of messing up your tag. The brass face also reduces sparks you'd get from striking 2 pieces of the same metal together. Safety glasses are probably not overkill here. If you have the stamp tilted when you strike, it may not leave a good impression, which is super bad if you're trying to make an E and it looks like an F. But most of the time you can actually just set the stamp back in the impression and re-hit it to fix it. With each row, I just move the tape down. I messed up one letter here, so I'm just going to put a bunch of center punches on it and keep going. This is the advantage of that HowTo steel product. It takes almost as long to insert all those little pieces, but the advantage is you can undo one. Now after you're done, definitely check it on that offline computer to make sure you can read what you stamped. It might even be worthwhile to wait a few days or have a trusted friend type it in so your memory isn't doing the reading. Also, file down whatever surface you stamped on, otherwise you'll be leaving a copy of that key around. Overall, this stamping method is going to take you a little longer than the HowTo steel product, probably 1 to 3 hours from start to finish, but I really like that I can back up 4 or 5 different wallets with one $9 bag of dog tags.